Welcome to Bottom Tier, everyone. We're here and we are talking about Vermintide. We're taking our first look. And this is actually a pretty fantastic game. You can see this is from my perspective.
Oh my god, you did not stop moving. What the hell is wrong with you?
I do
Just
not
click
stop.
on the map.
Yeah, I was meant to click on the map. I didn't know that. This whole time I was actually supposed to hit F2 to ready. This little tavern, as with most Warhammer and other fantasy setting games.
I was about to say, yeah, this is definitely fantasy Warhammer, not 40k.
The adventure begins directly in a bar where you wait with your party to queue up for the mission. I finally figured it out after Jason brought it to my attention.
After I yelled at him, stop letting her out and fucking hit the button.
Relentlessly yelled at me.
This is actually our second time recording this because we've had a lot of audio difficulties lately.
We were recording the audio while we were playing, and my audio didn't take. So,
which is weird because it was on your end.
Right. Well, I know what I did. I know where I messed up. But this is Warhammer End Times Vermintide. And I want to warn everybody going into this, what you're about to see is on the easiest difficulty.
It's also ultra mega violent.
Yes. So if you have a weak stomach to a lot of blood, this might not be for you. I actually handled it really well.
I was very proud.
Despite my weaknesses.
Colton can't handle blood and gore. I live for it. Ultra violence gives me a massive erection.
The first thing I want to say, after I struggle hard to block out Jason's erection, is that this game is absolutely gorgeous.
I think the best descriptor of it is when we're on top of the roofs.
Yeah, there's a segment
pan out over the city.
There's a segment a little later which will show you where we can actually pan out over the city. But this is I'm playing the Wood Elf Waywatcher, which is a ranger for you regular fantasy fans.
For you regular folk.
I specialize in daggers and bows. It's kind of like a hybrid of a rogue and a ranger. And I'm aimlessly burning through all my arrows because Jesus Christ, that rate of fire.
Well, you could have controlled it, but you chose not.
Well, as you can see, as you just saw, I can draw back my arrows for a powerful.
You wanted to be Legolas.
I did. Shooting
this doesn't
arrows.
He has unlimited arrows. You do not.
It was such an unrealistic rate of fire, but it's a fantasy game, and I tried shooting that dwarf like 8 times in the face because I thought he was an enemy. He's on the same head level as everything else, so I was like, "Fuck it, take him out."
That's one of the cool things about this game. When I played this at PAX Prime, I was given a random class, and I got the dwarf, and the dwarf's camera is set much lower than the rest of the characters, and it really gives you that Jesus damn it, I'm so short experience.
Now, and I gotta say, aside from the looks of this game,
which are pretty,
to give you a basic idea of what this game is about, as I try desperately to figure out how the healing items work.
I figure it out till the end of the damn mission.
Yeah, that's truth. It's basically like Warhammer Left 4 Dead.
It really
except
is.
Replace zombies with rats.
Skaven.
Yeah, with Skaven, aka giant rats. Hence the name of the game, Vermintide. It is a literal tide of rodents and violence. It's a fantastic game.
Violence Tide, and it would have still been good.
It doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well, though. Now, see here, I've pinned myself in a hallway, a choke point, if you will. Except I'm literally choking people with my blades. It is a literal choke point.
Yeah, this much like Left 4 Dead, you really get
step back,
swarmed under.
Oh yeah, and I step back and I just start popping off every arrow I have into the mob while Jason tanks it up.
Now I'm playing the Imperial Soldier, so I have a massive 2-handed mace and a blunderbuss.
Yes, it's pretty awesome. And I want you to know I feel like, obviously, I'm using short weapons, so of course my range is going to be limited. But aside from the limited melee range, the controls, for the most part, feel really tight.
There's a couple of graphical glitches like we just saw.
Yeah,
but It's still in beta, so it is what it is.
And some of the animations, like for melee attacks, don't feel like they flow together very. Like sometimes you'll get the same stab like 5 times, and it doesn't feel like it flows well. It feels almost like it would be better if they looped through the animations like one after another, so that you didn't get the same one twice.
But when there's like 100 enemies running at you, you won't notice.
You hardly will notice. But aside from that, it controls really smoothly. I kept trying to find a sprint button.
I believe there is one. That's why every chest was fucking empty. You scumbag. Because it closes the chest again after you loot it. And I was like, why the fuck are all these chests empty? I need items.
I don't know why he couldn't find any.
It's a secret to everybody.
I can't say that I know.
Look at all those aiding assists that Ragged Chat guy's got, though. Just constant, a flow of them.
That's true. And it's just, I mean, it controls really tight, aside from some minor graphical glitches.
Graphical?
Yeah, graphical. Aside from
graphical glitches.
Aside from some minor glitches here and there, obviously it's still in a beta, so that's to be expected. It really controls very smoothly. The gameplay is fast. It's frenetic, I would go as far as to say. It's fun.
It's very satisfying. Like when you watched me like hammer a Skaven down a hill.
Yeah.
And the body just flailed through the air and blood spewed, and it's from, I wish I could have shown you my camera angles because they were just so rewarding.
And I have a few bits like that as well. Like I think I stabbed this guy in the anus something like 6 times after he's dead. Like, oh, there we go. There's the ass stabbing. Yep, there it is.
Ass stabbings is evident.
I am become ass stab. Yep, take it.
Now you know you can kill.
Yeah.
And I was over there hammering an already dead Skaven.
Well, it's the bodies pile up so heavily. It's hard, and sometimes they move because the physics engine's actually pretty good, like really good.
And much like, no, go ahead.
It becomes hard to tell what's alive and what's not.
And much like Left 4 Dead, they're also, not, I guess, unique Skaven, but special Skaven. Like you just saw the humongous, like Goliath ogre.
Now, this is one of my favorite things, too, which we'll use later. The bombs. And as you can see my inventory on the right-hand side, I remain out of arrows for quite some time.
Almost till the end of the mission.
Then we find an ammo we find 2 or 3 ammo repositories. Everybody has a ranged weapon. Everybody has a melee weapon. And then you pick up healing items, augmentation potions, and you pick up bombs, which are awesome. This game, I can't get over how fun it was. It was super duper fun. It's incredibly violent, but that's not in a super over the top way. It's what you'd expect for a Warhammer. It's over the top,
but it's not like ridiculous.
It's what you'd expect for a Warhammer setting. And as you know, we just went around in a circle.
We sure did.
But I find one dude we didn't kill who's just like minding his
hanging out.
He's just standing there. Like I almost felt bad because as soon as
like jerking off in a corner,
he's like, "Oh no, they found me." He's like, "No, I was jerking it," and I was like, "Oh my god, me too."
No way.
And then we stabbed each other. It was a good time.
He laughed, I laughed. He exploded in blood. We all had a good time.
Yeah, it was important. And now we're also playing with 2 bots. This game.
And we're only playing with. We are playing with 2 bots. Yeah, you're right.
This game is currently in
beta.
Closed beta.
As it says on the screen.
Yeah, it's currently invite only, which you can apply for an invitation at their website, which will be linked in the description of this video.
Oh, terrific.
Overall, it's very satisfying. I paused it to make sure my graphics were good, but also to turn down the audio settings.
Because it was kind of loud.
The audio is this is one of those few games where the audio is natively set to 7 million decibels, much like the League of Legends client.
Oh God! Every time I put on my headphones, I go a little more deaf. One day I will be most deaf.
So the goal of this mission to talk Yeah, you'll be the Most Def. You'll be yes, I got it. Most Def. You're fantastic. I didn't actually get it until I said it aloud again to myself and to the audience.
This is what I wanted Left 4 Dead to be.
You wanted it to be Warhammer?
Well, no, yeah, but my problem with Left 4 Dead is it's very formulaic. You can memorize patrols. You'll know roughly where things are. But in this,
that's less true with Left 4 Dead 2, because they have what's called a technology, which is something like what this uses, called the Director, where in Left 4 Dead 2, because the idea is that each stage is like a zombie movie, he sends enemies based on, it's basically rubber band AI. But from random locations based on how you're doing. But this game, the thing that makes it unique, and I know you're dying to talk about it, is that
you're just gonna do it for me.
I am.
Asshole.
Every single time you play a mission in this game, it will be different. The map might be the same, but the enemy spawn locations, the loot drops, the number of enemies, the
number of enemies will always be ridiculous.
It will always be absurd, but it's a level of like how absurd.
We should try playing a mission and record it for a channel at like hard or like Cataclysm.
My butthole puckered just from you saying it. Now, you see me through the barrel at them because I thought for sure it would explode. I was really hoping it would burst into flames and take everything with it.
This is Colton not reading the mission objective.
Yeah, nope. Not
even.
Oh, hey,
you've got arrows again.
Yeah, I do. I told you, we found a couple ammo repositories.
I wasn't sure if we had found one by...
And that was me desperately trying to discover what the throw range on the barrels is, but I granny rolled it right in there.
I wish I had seen that while we were playing. You'd have never lived that down.
Well, I'm certainly glad that didn't happen.
But now we have it on tape.
No, we don't. This video will never see the light of day.
Oh.
I'm just going to edit footage of Booker T over it.
Well done.
Because why not?
No, use R-Truth.
Okay, so now as you can see, I'm getting injured. You can see the UI on the bottom has the health bars as well as what equipment everyone currently has.
And that was another one of the unique Skaven.
And so you always know if someone's holding out on healing items on you because
you can see it.
You can see it. So if they say I don't have any, it's like, no, you prick. I can see it.
You have it. I know you have it. Another really cool thing about this game is you can have up to 4 players, and if you go solo, you'll have 3 bots. And let's say I want Colton to play this game with me, but he's vigorously masturbating to duck porn, like DuckTales or whatever weird thing he gets down to.
Right.
Look, I'm not judging you.
Listen. However I spend my Friday nights is my business. All right.
Whatever you're doing. Like you say, it'll take me like 20 minutes to get ready. I'll say, no problem. And I'll start a game, and he could just jump in whenever he wants.
Yep, it does have drop-in, drop-out multiplayer.
I love it. And the bots are pretty clever. The bots
actually save our lives a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right now,
the title of this video should be Saved by Bots.
Saved by the Bots. There we go.
When I die up in the alley and then the vermins are swarming and I don't think I will make it out alive.
How do you?
I'm riding low in my chair. I'm riding low in my chair. They won't know that I'm there. If I can swallow down a potion, it'll be all right. It's all right because I'm saved by the bots.
I just want to know why you remember the Saved by the Bell theme song. I want to make it clear that was not scripted. That just kind of happened. Like most of our work, we just kind of... I explained to Darren our process when we did Music Man Online. I said, look, I told Colton, organize the videos however you like. We'll just make it happen.
Oh, blat! 360 no scope. This was.
You missed the first shot.
No, I hit him. It went through him. It clipped
he
through
just
him.
didn't care.
Yeah. And then I asked Jason, is shooting someone through the mouth stealth?
It is totally stealth.
Hey, you can't scream if you got an arrow in your mouth. And this is where I lost sight of Jason. We're kind of tour guiding you through our first playthrough of the game, of the first mission.
I cannot get enough of how fun this was.
It really was. And the dynamic lighting and fog effects are just breathtaking. And so is that guy's fist in my ass. It just took the breath right out of me. You take the breath right. No, I'm not going to do that to Breaking Benjamin.
I wish more.
You wish you were a fish?
That too. I wish more Warhammer games were like this. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not just trying to talk up the company. Though I did meet one of the devs at Prime who was really cool.
They actually specially requested that you / and by proxy me do this game.
Which was really kind of cool.
Yeah, they emailed us, or emailed Jason rather, and we're like, hey, Jason, we want you to cover this game. And he's like, well, I'm bringing the fat guy with me. And they're like, whatever, queer, or whatever they said to him. I don't know.
That's pretty close to the mark.
Jason desperately attempts to resurrect me by patting me gently on the buttocks. Because he's like, come on, good game. Go get him. It's a
legendary Imperial technique.
Go get him. I'm like, put me in, coach. And he's like... Oh, this game is so... It's just the combat is so visceral. It's incredible. Like, I really wish that, like... The only thing I would really say about it that didn't mesh well was that the arrow rate of fire is good, but it feels like, and maybe it's just because I wasn't using the zoom shots or whatever. It felt like the arrows did virtually no damage.
Yeah, the damage did seem really disappointing. But when you switch to daggers, things explode.
Well, yeah, like, the arrows do nothing, but, like, I can walk up and not even catch someone with the blade of my dagger. Like, I catch them with my fist.
And their head falls off.
And their head just falls clean the fuck off. It's remarkable. And...
Like, the stages are, even on easy, are pretty fucking intense.
Yeah, like, as you can see, I'm clinging to life for all it's worth. One of our bots is actually dead. And I think this does borrow a mechanic from Left 4 Dead.
Oh, that's the one that ran, like, way, way ahead of us.
I think it does borrow a mechanic from Left 4 Dead where when someone dies, you actually find them, like, somewhere later.
And you have to set them free.
Yeah. So you find them later in the stage, trapped somewhere, and you set them free. Which I think is a nice mechanic. This does draw... This is very... I feel like very... It's very Left 4 Dead inspired, but it doesn't feel too derivative.
It's not a ripoff. Yeah, it's not a clone.
Yeah, it's not a Left 4 Dead clone, but it does feel like it definitely takes some cues from it. And there's me I just got exploded into bits.
Yeah, I almost die a couple of times. Then it tells you beware the poison wind of the Globadiers. After we die to it.
Yes. Globadiers sounds like an overly technical name for somebody that throws globs of shit at you.
Especially for a Skaven. The Skaven are...
There was Jason giving it the old rusty plank way on the stairs there.
Giving it the old rusty Shackleford.
You were giving it the rusty gangplank.
Giving it the old heave-ho.
Yeah. Jason, that's not appropriate.
Hey, I do what I gotta do to save the day.
We're actually coming up on an area where I believe I do take a panoramic shot.
Yes, I said, hey, you need a shot of this.
Yes, this up on the corner of the roof. After I kill the dudes is where I take a panoramic.
After you brutally murder Skaven just minding their own business.
And this game is actually really well optimized because you can see the level of detail in every little thing, even from this distance. The draw distance is very well managed. Because, like, you can see far off and everything really retains. And I'm not going to lie, my computer is good. My computer is not fantastic.
But it is good.
But it is very powerful. But I would call mine a middle-of-the-line machine compared to some of the gaming rigs I've seen. And it played at a near flaw. And they said there would be frame rate issues with the beta in the email that we got. So I was kind of expecting that. But because I only have a few very minor stutters, and they're very rare.
They're not game-breaking.
Yeah, I'm playing at a smooth 50 or 60 frames easily. Might be between 30 and 60. I don't know. I didn't actually take a count.
Another thing...
It's just so crisp looking and smooth. Go ahead.
Another thing that I feel like we need to mention is every attack, like every gunshot or arrow shot makes noise. And that's important because if you're in a quiet, empty alley and you like say I fire my blunderbuss, that will make a large ricocheting noise or explosion, and it will alert Skaven that are happen to be nearby and not dead yet. This game has a really cool engine for like sound detection. So you can like it's impossible to be stealthy, I think, with a 4-player team like this.
Yeah,
Like you have to be careful about what you're doing. Otherwise you will pull way more enemies than you want.
Yeah, which I mean that's gonna happen regardless, but it's a matter
Happened
of
to us
when
every time.
when and to what extent. Now, this is the Tower of Magnus, the Magnus Tower, if you will, which is where our mission has directed us to be.
That is a big ass horn.
We're actually here to rescue someone, and to blow a horn.
See, and that ties in with what I was talking about. We're at the horn.
It is.
And it alerts every motherfucker in this part of the city, and it's really not good.
No. And I get trapped, and I get my biscuits rolled here in the middle of the fucking...
You get your ham honey glazed.
I do. I get my yams candied.
Yes! Hashtag yam counter. We're bringing it back.
Now in the corner.
Have the talent, Colton, you need to make a yam counter.
One of these days.
Hashtag yam counter.
One of these days it'll happen. So, for those of you who are new to Bottom Tier, Jason and I have a distinct habit of talking about yams for no adequately explored or explained reason.
We describe terrible things that are happening in food-related euphemisms. Such as, having your biscuits rolled.
Or your yams.
And I think we said it like 4 times in the Ninja Turtle episode. I think it was Ninja Turtles.
I got my heroes half-shelled.
That you did.
All right, so here we are, and there's our dead friend who we're going to resurrect.
We contemplated not doing it, but decided ultimately that we need another meat shield.
We do.
And it just told you on the screen enemies will hear noise and come and fuck you if you're too loud.
They will. And trust me, that's not a good look, my friend. Oh god, I'm getting dragged away by the throat, but Jason makes the save and I instantly teleport back to where I was for some
unknown reason.
Yeah. It was a real doozy.
It was a real humdinger.
It really was. Sound the horn, yes.
I don't understand why we sound this horn. That seems like a really, really bad plan.
Imagine that someone asked you to sneak into like a concentration camp, like a Nazi concentration camp, and then asked you to play this Led Zeppelin record over the loudspeakers.
While using a megaphone that says, "I hate Nazis." It's kind of what happens. It's like throwing a chair in the middle of the club.
It is.
You don't even have to hit anybody. They just start wiling out.
They do. And while out they do. As you can see from the footage.
Well, not yet, but they're coming.
Survive the onslaught is our mission objective.
They should be here any second now.
Oh, they come in through the rafters.
There they are.
And I just start dropping bodies.
Because I threw my bomb, I think, at one of the lines of Skaven. It just blew them all to pieces.
And then I remember I have a bomb, and the only person I managed to hit with it is Jason.
I don't think this game has friendly fire, though.
No, but if it did, it certainly would have painted your fence, if you get what I mean.
This would be the worst game for us to play as a team with friendly fire.
Yeah, it would be like Double Dragon all over again.
Amen. Or Battletoads. That's something we need to play.
It is. So, in summation, as we show you the closing moments of this mission, where I desperately try to figure out where the rest of the onslaught was, because comparatively speaking, that was a small number of enemies we just fought.
Compared to every other room we entered.
Yeah. No, there they
go.
There they come, and the last thing I'll taste before I die is the taste of my own hubris.
I just got our other player's name. Just now.
What, Gravy?
Yeah. When I read
Oh my god, he's not a bot.
No.
I thought he was a bot.
No, I noticed because of the name. Because our mage, that's the mage's actual in-character name. But I was looking at it, and I saw the V before the Y. And then I looked at it in our replay, and I'm like, oh god, his name is Gravy.
It is. And he absolutely pours the gravy in this clip. I don't watch him very much. I saved his life, actually.
But you have to look at him to save his life.
I actually did. I had to put the cursor over him.
That green cloud is very reminiscent.
That ball sack is very reminiscent of a ball sack with a dagger sticking out of it because I gave that guy the work. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was going to say that green cloud is very reminiscent of any time me and Colton go to a Chinese restaurant or an Arby's.
Yes. Arby's especially, I'm reminded of.
A poisonous cloud that infects anyone near it.
Arby's absolutely,
decimates your colon.
It does. Now here's where Jason can't find the hole he's supposed to drop in.
I would have sucked at TV's hole in the wall or hole in the floor.
So I desperately start firing the last of my arrows in a straight arc in an effort to get him to see them springing out of the ground, and I die for my efforts as I get my kneecap slashed.
Yeah, your salad toss.
Jason attempts to scoop slam me, but drops me in favor of smashing other people with a hammer.
Can you blame me? You see that cool-ass hammer?
I do. And Gravy finally starts putting in the work. And
as I'm flailing angrily and then put Colton in the camel clutch.
He's trying, but he can't. For some reason, every time Jason tries to resurrect me, it plays the revived animation, and then I glitched back into the ground. And then I got up and just started emptying my clip, because apparently bows have clips. It's the only way I could think that it would fire that quickly. And I saved Jason's life somebody's life on the first try because I'm a pro. Yeah, and then we have to reach the elevator.
As Colton contemplated leaving me behind.
And see, there's a body moving under the dead ones. He got trapped. So I just started cutting all the dead bodies.
Colton was really considering leaving me behind.
It wouldn't let me. I would have already. I hit that switch. You can see in the clip I hit the switch like 6 times.
No, that's okay. I considered leaving him behind at the end of the stage. At the wagon. This was what made it feel like Left 4 Dead for me.
Yeah, because you get to the escape point.
Mm-hmm. This made it feel the most like Left 4 Dead. And it figures you get to the escape point and there's a million enemies waiting.
They get in the wagon.
Why don't they just break the wagon?
I do not know, my friend.
I don't understand. Ugh, Jesus.
But I definitely rate this game a 5 weird baby face sons out of 5.
It was a lot of fun. Look forward to us covering it again.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, this is another really cool feature, the dice roll, where you roll dice for your loot.
Yes. And I actually win a new pair of daggers.
I want a new hammer.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
But instead you get knives.
I get knives. Instead I got implements of murder.
Well, that means you could just stab someone and steal their shoes. You got to be forward thinking on bottom tier, Colton.
I really do. I need to be more forward thinking. And I do think forward with my daggers. I think them forward into people's chests and testicles and whatever else I can reach. And with that, this has been our coverage on Vermintide, and we will see you next time on Bottom Tier.